I am Graham, welcome back. I have got 10 great movies for you to check out this month. Well, we're all still on lockdown, so let's just dive into it. Number 10, Coherence. Emily and her boyfriend Kevin are two of several people attending a dinner party at Mike's house. Kevin's ex-girlfriend Laurie will be there, making things somewhat tense for both Kevin and Emily. The dinner party goes faithfully well until the power goes out following a comet sighting. Coherence is a wonderful low-budget movie, and I'm going to have to try and edge around why I think it's worth checking out. It offers a really fun tale full of mystery and surprises, which I will not spoil for you, even though I really want to. It is several actors doing multiple fantastic things. It has a really intricate and fantastic plot that, again, I don't want to waste for you. Coherence is just wonderful. Read nothing about it. Just put it on and enjoy this terrific movie. I think you'll be really surprised about where it goes. Remember, don't read up on this one. Just hit play. Number 9, Bone Tomahawk. After an outlaw unknowingly leads a band of cannibalistic troglodytes into the peaceful western town of Bright Hope, the monsters kidnap several settlers, including the wife of a local rancher. Despite his injured leg, the rancher joins a small rescue party with the sheriff, his aging deputy, and a strong-willed gunslinger. What follows is a journey into hell on earth as the posse comes to realise it's up against foes whose savagery knows no bounds. I absolutely love Bone Tomahawk. I'm a big Western fan, and this gave me a mix of two different kinds of movies that I didn't expect to get. You get the typical Western faction, and then you get the genre-specific cannibal type of movie, which holds nothing back in the latter half of the movie. And this is one of those ones where it's a group of 4 men chasing other men across the desert. It's not a quick adventure. You get to spend time with these 4 characters as they get to know each other, as they kind of learn more about them and how they're willing to handle themselves. And by the time it gets to the end, you are fully enveloped in the characters, the story and the stakes, and it delivers in terrific bloody fashion at the end with some wonderfully wince-inducing special effects. Number 8, The Man from Earth. An impromptu party for a college professor becomes a mysterious interrogation when he reveals to his colleagues that he is thousands of years old. Now, what The Man from Earth loses in visual style, it gains more in its thematics and its storytelling. It's wonderfully simple. You have a group of scientific people in a house as one of them is just packing up and leaving, and he tells his friends, his comrades for the last 10 years that he is thousands of years old. And from that point on, you get disbelief, belief, you get discussions, you get theological implications invested in this as well. And you have these people scientifically tackling the subject. Well, if this is true, can you explain this? And it becomes a tale of them either being convinced or not convinced of this fact. And it is riveting stuff. Wonderful entertainment, a kind of movie that no one really talks about. Number 7, Black Book. Dutch VIP Van Geen, who has excellent German connections, runs a countryside escape route mainly used by the Jews who have been hiding themselves and considerable valuables. A boat full of them is suddenly raided by the Nazis. A rare survivor, Rachel Stein, follows Jew resistance. She volunteers to gain entrance into the Nazi HQ by seducing a high-ranking officer. Several dangerous games of cat and mouse ensue, exacting bloody tolls on both sides. Ultimately, traitors are found out. Paul Verhoeven's Black Book seems to be one of these movies that's just fell into the ether. No one really talks about it. No one really mentions it at all, and it's a real shame because it is a wonderfully fantastic edge of the seat, rip-roaring adventure thriller. Now, it's not something unusual. It's the form of someone going into the resistance against the Nazis. It's high stakes, tension filled. There could be double crosses, there will be adventure, there will be lots of feelings in this one, as it's edge of the seat kind of entertainment. spectacularly shot. It looks amazing, has fantastic actors doing terrific work, and I cannot recommend this one highly enough. Number 6, Howl. Young, ambitious ticket collector Joe is overseeing the last train out of London on a dark and stormy night. The usual collection of passengers on board, from the obnoxious teen to the workaholic businesswoman. Suddenly, the train screeches to a halt in a forest after hitting something on the tracks. But the investigating driver never returns. I love a werewolf movie. It's always been that way. I've got a feeling it's always going to be that way, and I go into them hoping that I'm going to get a rather decent one. Thankfully, Howl was that kind of movie. It locks it down to a small location, gave me a host of characters, some I hated, some I hoped were going to do the right thing and be the heroes and ultimately survive this ordeal. You get a wonderfully practical werewolf in this one, where the effects just shine through and they keep it to the latter bit of the movie. They don't show it too early. You get glimpses, flashes of something, but it waits until the final third to unleash this fantastic creation. Howl is a terrific werewolf movie, if that is your kind of thing. Number 5, Mississippi Burning. 2 FBI agents investigating the murder of a civil rights worker during the 60s seek to breach the conspiracy of silence in a small southern town where segregation divides black and white. The younger agent, trained in FBI school, runs up against the small town ways of his former sheriff partner. Gene Hackman, Willem Dafoe in a terrifically tense and exciting drama thriller. They are down in the south trying to solve this murder that nobody seems to care about. Nobody seems to want to hear anything about or help these people on their investigation. This is most definitely racial implications throughout this movie, and if you've never seen Mississippi Burning, you are missing out on a wonderful movie. Number 4, Rambo: Last Blood. John Rambo finds himself unable to keep the terrors of his world at bay, still trying to keep the lid on his simmering emotions. Secluded in his deceased father's horse ranch, John, along with his teen niece Gabriella and her grandmother Maria, lead a serene life, until an urgent invitation drags the gullible 17-year-old into the squalid slums of Mexico in search of a ghost. Rambo: Last Blood is a movie that I'm going to recommend if you're a fan of that kind of thing. Personally, I really wasn't very keen on Rambo. It felt a little bit too preachy in some of its political messages, and the ending of the movie was just ridiculous, almost like an adult version of Home Alone. But it's a big budget action extravaganza, and in the final third it delivers the kind of action that you maybe want: visceral, in your face, bloody and extreme. If you've been a fan of the other Rambo movies, you may like this one. If you just want something that you can switch on, tune off, kind of laugh at and kind of enjoy the big explosions, this may be the movie for you. Number 3, Turbo Kid. In a post-apocalyptic future, the kid, a young solitary scavenger obsessed with comic books, must face his fears and become the reluctant hero when he meets a mysterious girl named Apple. Despite their efforts to keep to themselves, Zeus, the sadistic and self-proclaimed leader of the wasteland, plagues the kid and Apple. Armed with little more than blind faith and an ancient turbocharged weapon, the kid learns of justice and friendship and embarks on an incredible journey to rid the wasteland of evil and save the girl of his dreams. I'm a huge fan of Turbo Kid. It falls into that kind of grindhouse aesthetic of movie. This kind of low budget, high concept movie is just wonderful to see, and when you have Michael Ironside as your bad guy, you've already got me on side. I love Turbo Kid. It has genre to the max, but they nail the tone of what they're going for. You'll know within the first 10 or 15 minutes whether this is for you, and if it's not, turn it off, give something else a try. But if you stick with it, you might find something that's just really fun, engaging and just enjoyable. Number 2, The Wailing. Vague but disquieting rumours of a demonic activity shroud Gokseong, a sleepy rural hamlet nestled deep in the damp mountainous region. As a rare spate of grisly murders, coupled with a fiery outbreak of an unexplained disease brings disaster to the once peaceful village. From this silent but dreadful curse, no one is safe, not even Police Sergeant Jingu's only daughter, Hojin, whose frail young body already shows clear signs of the vicious infection. The Wailing is 2.5 hours of pure Korean awesomeness. This is a stunning to look at movie that has these images that are just infectious. It has this storyline that is part supernatural, part virus outbreak. It seems to target certain people. You get this outcast that's living up in the mountains, a Japanese man who is subjugated on just because he's Japanese. And you get wonderful set pieces throughout the movie. There is a standout exorcism midway through the movie that is simply perfect. One of the best I've seen in years. This is a movie that you could quite easily bypass, but this is engaging. This is a movie that will draw you in. It has terrific atmosphere and scares and just everything you could possibly want is within The Wailing. It's a movie that you must check out. Number 1, The Lighthouse. As the wavering cry of the foghorn fills the air, the taciturn former lumberjack Ephraim Winslow and the grizzled lighthouse keeper Thomas Wake set foot in a secluded and perpetually grey islet off the coast of late 19th century New England. For the following 4 weeks, the back-breaking work and unfavourable conditions, the tight-lipped men will have no one else for company except for each other, forced to endure irritating idiosyncrasies, bottled up resentment and burgeoning hatred. Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe star in this movie that, again, it's not for everyone. You'll all know almost instantly if this is for you or not. Please stick with it. It's something very different in the horror genre. The language used is fantastic. The performances are downright stunning from these two guys. To see Willem Dafoe lose it as he feels insulted about his cooking is one of the standout sequences from last year that I remember seeing. I think it's a wonderful movie. It's very different, it's very nuanced, it has a great tale and performances about men just being driven mad by the elements in their own company. It's just wonderful to check out and very, very different from the usual Hollywoodized movies that sometimes end up on Prime. This is something special, well worth checking out. So there we have it, 10 great movies for you to check out this month. I hope you find something there that you really want to watch. And if I've missed something out, let me know in the comment box below with a recommendation and I will happily check that out. I've got lots of time on my hands at the moment. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.